So we thought we'd kind of talk a little bit about how Dwayne and I kind of came together and got into the genre and all those great things. But I met Dwayne back in 2016 at a Bigfoot conference, and we just kind of hit it off. We both grew up in the 70s and shared a lot of the same things in our childhood, and we just hit it off. Man, we're kindred spirits.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a synchronicity there, kind of a little bit of destiny or something. I mean, just definitely had the same interest growing up.
Yeah, and we were talking the other night about the year that really kind of sunk us both, which is around 1977.
77 was a good year. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot went down in the 77, that's for sure.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot. We had the newspaper and books, and we had very limited TV stations. We had radio, but that was about it. But we had good cinema that year, and we had two great shows that year, man. Star Wars and Close Encounters.
Most definitely. Close Encounters. The strong ones for me.
Yeah, and then we were talking the other night about being a kid and seeing Star Wars: A New Hope. I mean, not only was it a master class of a movie, right, and just smashed it out of the park, right, but that scene of Luke Skywalker staring across Tatooine and seeing the two moons. I think it was filmed in Tunisia or somewhere, but being a kid in Nebraska, I mean, that was kind of seeing his face and the sense of wonder about what's beyond Earth and what's out there and what the possibilities of life are. I mean, that was kind of life altering.
Yeah, I think we both can sympathize with that feeling, you know what I mean? That scene you're talking about, definitely.
Yeah, and then Close Encounters, of course, we had Richard Dreyfuss and Terry Garr, and I mean, what a awesome movie. I mean, everything from Flight 19 to Alien Contact. I mean,
I kind of covered it all. It was a stellar movie. Still holds up too. I mean, that movie's solid.
It is, and it. I saw it the other day. It came out on 4K Ultra, and I'm gonna have to pick it up because, like you said, it still holds up.
It does.
But that was totally solid. And then we were chit-chatting about TV, and we had great TV as well. We had In Search of and Project UFO that year.
Yes, In Search of. What a monster, pun intended.
Right. And, of course, the Bigfoot episode, definitely pretty captivating to both of us, for sure.
Yes. Loch Ness Monster, at the topper. They did UFOs.
Easter Island. Bermuda Triangle. I mean, there was a ton that year, but it was super great.
Oh, and I'll tell you, my little brain was just sucking up every minute of it, man. That's for sure. I just couldn't wait to watch that show.
Yeah, and it's hard to do a reboot of those, but they recently tried it with Zachary Quinto, and those are big shoes to fill, stepping in behind Nimoy.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. That's a rough one. I mean, They tried going with the next generation of Spock. I don't think it hit its mark. The show itself was all right, but just the bar was set too high, I think.
Yeah, but they, I like you said, it still holds up. Even the old stuff. So that was really good, and we just had a lot of great cultural icons too. I mean, going back to movies, I mean, not only did we have Star Wars and Close Encounters, we had Smokey and the Bandit, right? Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt.
Right?
Sally Fields,
right? The frog, I think he called her. Something like that. But that was a great movie that year. Saturday Night Fever came out that year.
Yes, that was big. It was a big hit.
That was pretty big. The Bee Gees, right? So
they were big too.
Yeah, they were huge. And then, of course, we got into TV shows, and we were talking through, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days.
Happy Dude didn't like Happy Days,
right? Yeah. What else was out there that year? Soap.
Yeah,
Soap
I remember that. What an odd show, but what a good show.
Right. Barney Miller. So those were some pretty killer and fun times to kind of reminisce about. And then, of course, we also had Daredevils.
Yes, we had Evel Knievel.
Right. And so between him and the Fonz, I don't know who was tougher, but Evel really, he was reality TV before reality TV.
Evel Knievel was the real life. He was the real life Daredevil.
Yeah, I think he was from up here too. He's from Montana, I think Butte, somewhere up in there. But he was a tough one.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was a good friend of Bob Gilman's.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he was really something. So you got men of men, right, in theater, in cinema, right. We've got Harrison Ford playing Han Solo. We got Burt Reynolds, right, playing the Bandit, and then You know, come on. You got
the
Fonz.
Fonz.
I mean,
the Fonz was the coolest guy ever.
Right. And we had awesome music too, man. We had some killer bands.
Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss. The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah, that was a big year. I think Eagles released Hotel California, but Dwayne and I were both in the Kiss Army, of course.
Oh, well, of course, yeah. Well, what was it that year? I believe it was Love Gun and Kiss Alive too.
Yeah. And that was a killer album. If you remember the 33, you'd open it up and it had them up on the stages coming down. And
yeah.
You had the Kiss Army pamphlet and some other, I can't remember what they put in the middle of the album.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
It's not a leaflet or a flyer.
It was an insert of some sort, but it was really cool.
Photo page.
Maybe you guys can tell us what that thing was.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know. I can't remember. It was the 70s, by the way.
We might have lost a few brain cells back then, but yeah, they were awesome. I actually, speaking of Kiss, Dwayne and I were actually supposed to go see Kiss last night at the Gorge, and that got postponed. And so we got
as with everything.
So we got to hope that they can hang in, right? So we can see them next year. But as long as Paul and Gene are there, Kiss is there, and I think the other guys are still around. I mean, Ace Frehley's still around. He was both of our faves.
Yeah, it was my favorite Kiss member. Believe me, Gene ain't letting those go.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the Love Gun album, that was huge. Christine 16,
yep.
Dr. Love, and Shock Me. I mean, those were all killer songs, man.
They were.
And that was killer art on that album cover too.
Love the artwork. Bought the album. Album went in the shelf, and the cover went on the wall. You know, that was the art. That's what we did with them. All my albums, if you look at them today, they all got that tack hole in all four of them, all the corners. That's where I had them.
Exactly. And I beat to death some of those albums because we didn't have Rewind. Remember, that was until cassette, so you had to pick up or you had to have a really nice turntable to move the needle. Otherwise, you drop it and scratch them up.
Kids, the original CDs.
Yeah, the original.
I had my son one day come into the room, pick up an album, and he goes, "Dad, how do you play these CDs?" And I just went, "Okay."
Right. So you scratch them up too much, use them as frisbees outside. We had pretty great imaginations for sure.
Yes, yes, we did. We had some cool toys, but we had awesome imaginations.
Yeah, and thinking of the Fonz and Evel Knievel, man. I didn't have motorcycles, but I had a big wheel.
Green Machine for me, buddy.
Oh yeah, but the big wheel was cool. We had really cool toys. We used to jump them. We used to jump our friends. A little dangerous, but we survived. So.
Well, I had Evel Knievel. I wasn't much of a daredevil back then. I was probably the guy getting jumped over. Right.
But, yeah, TV was awesome. Like I said, the Fonz. I mean, who doesn't remember the Fonz jumping the Shark Tank?
He's jumping the shark. Yeah. Thus the coin phrased.
And what was his gal he was with there? Pinky Tuscadero?
Pinky Tuscadero.
Remember that?
Yeah.
She was pretty smoking. And, yeah, those were really good episodes. But, anyways, I was thinking about the genre and really appreciate you coming over. So I got you a couple gifts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So first thing I had to get you, man, because everybody wanted to be the Fonz, right? So I had to get you the Fonz, man. I got you the Fonz action figure, my friend.
Oh, I'll be. Look at you, Chuck. You're awesome. How cool is this?
It's got the whole gang on the back. You got Richie. You got Sit on It Potsy, Ralph the Mouth, man.
Joni.
Yeah.
Oh, really and cool. How cool is this? Good old Migo.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, look at that. It's even got the comb.
Got the
comb.
Right. And, of course,
too cool.
We're going to have to jump the Shark Tank, so I got you a shark, So we got the Fonz and a shark, so we're going to need a fish bowl. And I couldn't find the motorcycle, so I did the next best thing. And who didn't have the most amazing toy in the world? All right, check it out, brother. I got you the Evel Knievel Stunt Cycle remake.
Look at that. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to be jumping some sharks.
So check that out. We got to get a shark episode going. But
Fonz, we're going to bring you back.
Ultimate friction power. Who didn't hand crank this thing to death and break a few toys?
I played with that to no end, man. I'm telling you, I broke more of Evel Knievel's bones than he did.
Exactly. And I don't think this thing has the cane or the cape. So, but I'm sure you'll work that out.
Trust me, Chuck. Give me a day or two with this, and I'll have to buy this man a cane.
Yeah, you'll break a few things with that.
Oh, I'm going to tear it up. We're going to be jumping some sharks, man.
And, of course, about that same era in the 70s, we had the Bionic Man.
Oh, yeah, $6 million man.
Yeah, $6 million man. And, of course, we had the Bigfoot episode with Andre the Giant.
Yes,
somewhere in that genre. So I figured if we couldn't make it over the shark, I got you a Sasquatch to jump.
Awesome. We're jumping a Sasquatch. How cool is this? Oh, Chuck, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
So you guys are going to have to hang out. You're going to see two grown men launch some toys.
Yeah, yes, you are. We are definitely going to jump some sharks. You're going to have to stay tuned for this. This is going to be fun.
We may have to get the stunt rocket. I think it was water powered. Did you have that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What other toys did you have? Did you pick up anything?
Hot Wheels aplenty. Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah, Hot Wheels. Oh my gosh, those orange tracks, and we'd take those purple inserts. You have to insert them together, and then you had to get a kind of a taller place. We had tape and stuff, but then I think they came out with a little gadget, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They had a big old purple C clamp, so you could get up as high as you wanted, and then out at the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah, exactly. You
little
clamp
centrifugal.
it on. We had a I-beam in our basement. We'd crank that on, and then you had to take the track and fasten it up on top, and you'd get up on a ladder or something crazy, right? And get as much track as you can, see what you could do.
We used to do it top of the fence, cross the backyard, and then had the little battery-powered centrifugal thing to give it an extra boost to see if we could get it. Same thing. So you see how far we could get it to jump.
Exactly. We had remote control cars. I had the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, but it was the Sears edition out of the Sears catalog, which is how you used to, get your merch. And it had little headlamps on it and everything, and my dad had latex the basement floor, and we'd put some water down, and we'd run it up, and then we'd flip it, and so it could spin out and do some burnouts and things. But it was a lot of fun.
A little drifting before drifting was drifting.
Yeah, and we had walkie-talkies.
The walkie-talkies were big. Radio Shack. Come on.
Right, and remote controlled cars. Remember the tracks? You guys, I don't know.
Total Control Racing. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, totally, man. That was wasn't it the first one you could actually shift lanes? Or...
You could hit the button and switch and pass.
Oh yeah, you could pass. That's right. And it was the gray track, and it had berms. If I remember
yes,
right.
It did.
It had a little bit higher walls, because the old tracks you'd come spinning out, you'd hit tires together, and I had that little needle that went in the track.
Many hours of fun with that.
Yeah,
that was cutting edge back then.
Yeah, but the 70s.
A slot car that you could move to another slot. That was awesome.
Yeah, but all the electronics were good. My dad had CB radios, back then, and radios were big.
Yeah, me and my friends would set them up like back in the garage, get an antenna, and we'd sit there for hours just talking to truckers and stuff. Speaking of old stuff, I got somebody had come out with a bunch of CB related cards that had all the little handles on them and everything, and characters and stuff. I still have a lot of that. 77 was great. 70s were great.
Yeah, totally awesome. And I even remember my dad mounted a gigantic CB antenna on top of the house.
Yeah,
I think, right? Breaker 19. Oh, and that was in the 70s. Convoy. That had to be there.
That had to be.
Yeah. The Highwaymen. All that stuff. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah. But everybody had to have a big antenna on their truck.
You're taking me way back.
Yeah. And camping. How about camping? You do a lot of camping?
When trucks had gun racks in them.
Oh, yeah. Right. You had your NRA, and you had they probably still have a lot of gun racks in where I grew up. But yeah, you couldn't leave your guns in the window. That's for sure. They get stolen now.
Definitely.
Back then, you just get shot.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah, totally good times. But anyways, so we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back, and we hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday evening. All right, well, welcome back, and it's fun to take a break and kind of reminisce there, but man, the 70s, man, I just, there's just so much there, and I'm sure we missed a lot, but we were just on break talking about other toys too, but who didn't have Stretch Armstrong?
Oh, right? I had a Stretch Armstrong.
And I know some people did some crazy things to Stretch.
Yep, and yes, I have seen inside a Stretch Armstrong, and if you want to see it, get a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, and back in the day, I'm sure it was a little bit toxic. But who knows? Who knows what that stuff was made of? But I think that I saw some out on eBay recently, and I think they're the original. So whatever's in there, man, it holds up.
I'm sure it was whatever it was made for something else and got repurposed into a toy.
But toy manufacturers, they weren't all that smart back then. I mean, there was other great things in the 70s, though. Remember the Light-Brite?
Light-Brite was awesome. I liked it. Easy bake oven.
Easy bake oven.
Brilliant
I don't think
idea.
either one of them were great fire hazards, though. I mean, they were.
I've melted a toy or two.
Yeah, I mean, who stuffs a 60-watt light bulb inside of a
plastic box? Here, cook something.
Put it on your shag carpet, too. Just light that thing up and see what happens.
Good times. The
I don't
70s
know.
were awesome, dude. I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Rubik's Cube, man. Remember that? Big Jim Laura's band.
Yes.
He'd have that band on his arm, and you'd flex him, and it'd pop off the little piece of paper.
Oh, all the toys I had. And again, it seemed like back then, everything was made to break, smack, throw, toss, burn. I mean, everything back then, man. Everything was made to break. So whoever was marketing things were brilliant.
Yeah, Tonka trucks. I remember riding Tonka trucks down the hill. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Transportation. They were so big and sturdy.
Tonka even figured that out too, because they were metal, and then they figured, all right, well, let's go plastic. So you can break those too, because we beat the crap out of those things.
Yeah, totally. And what else did we have? And we missed a few TV shows, I'm sure. But, I mean, come on, Three's Company.
Three's Company.
Yeah, we missed that one.
Yeah.
That was pretty solid. Who was in that? John Ritter?
Yep, John Ritter.
Suzanne Summers.
Summers.
Norman Fell played Mr. Roper. Remember that?
Yes. Classic. Beretta.
Oh, Beretta and the Cockatoo.
Yes.
Yeah. And Columbo.
Beretta and the Cockatoo, but you had to keep your eye on the sparrow.
Oh, right. Good call. But, yeah, we had a lot. Remember Columbo? I mean, there was so many, and Rockford Files.
Rockford Files, definitely.
Yeah,
God, it goes
James
on and
Garner.
on.
But, thinking about that, so here we were, kids learning about all the paranormal and wanting to investigate and research. I mean, these were some good role models too, right?
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch, man. Exactly. So, yeah. And anyways, I think it's kind of cool, where we came from and kind of maybe how we got here a little bit.
Yeah, and I think we got lucky too, because there was no on demand back then. There was no nothing. You got what was given to you on TV, movies, and I think we got lucky because all of these are really good. They're stellar.
Yeah.
Good programming.
Yep, and then of course, who can't forget all the beer, right?
Definitely. Hams. The beer refreshing.
Yeah, the Olympia Beer Company.
Olympia, it's the water.
Chasing Sasquatch and Bigfoot since 1896. Remember?
Definitely. I got a couple of cans of the Bigfoot beer at home.
Yeah, and Linda Meraki, she had sent me a poster, and actually took it down to Hobby Lobby last Friday. I'll get it back in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna have to hang it up and show everybody. But it was the Bigfoot reward poster. Remember that?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that was a real deal. $1 million reward.
Yeah, dead or alive, bring him in. So that was really cool. And Rhinelander.
Oh, good old Rhinelander.
Falstaff.
Rainier.
Most of those beers still exist, right? Yeah, Pabst.
Yeah, there was, I believe, an Australian company that came in and bought up all the old Milwaukee. They bought all those failing things up and just kept them alive because people like them.
Oh, yeah. And we didn't have Monster Energy drinks, but
we had the original Red Bull.
Oh, yeah, Schlitz, man. Remember that?
Schlitz malt liquor, you bet. They had a blue can, and they had I think their stout malt that was called Red Bull.
They were Red Bull before Red Bull. But you could really shotgun that one.
Yeah, you could.
So, yeah, those were a lot of fun. And then, of course, all the cartoons, man. We just had it all. But
Hong Kong Phooey?
Yeah, Hong Kong. And that was the thing. I was going to bring up my lunchbox. I actually have my original lunchbox. Check it out. Thought you'd think this was pretty cool.
Look at that.
It even has my name on it. My mom wrote my name on everything. Sure, many of you guys can relate to that. But this is the original lunchbox, man. It's a little beat up, but I still got my thermos, too. And it's the only thing I really have still from my childhood, which is kind of cool memories from the 70s. But there it is. That's the glass
Look
thermos
at that.
with the Hong Kong Fooey. And I used to take my milk in there, St. Thomas More Elementary School there in Omaha.
I mean,
I just pack my lunch up like my dad with his lunch box, and I'd march off to good old Catholic school.
That just goes to show, how cool everything was. We got good stuff. That's like I say, I feel fortunate. Everything was nice, you know.
It's made of metal.
Lippy the Lion.
Oh, yeah, Lippy the Lion. But,
just countless.
Yeah, there's just too many. But
Sid and Marty Croft, banana splits. I mean, I could go on and on. I love the banana splits, man.
Yeah, those are good times, man. Definitely good times. But, yeah, we've got a lot to be thankful for growing up in the 70s for sure.
Most definitely. And it did. And I think all of that culminated together is kind of what led to today and our interests. We had to use our imaginations. There was good reporting. I mean, back then they told us about Bigfoots and stuff. The shows were there. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, everything we've been talking to you guys about is the seed. That's the seed that was planted in us that put us here today.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel.
So many other just awesome shows, though. I mean, you just think about all the 70s stuff. Remember WKRP in Cincinnati?
Yes.
Do you remember the episode when Johnny Fever and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they have to drink like a shot a minute?
Yeah.
Stay on the radio. We should have one of those nights.
Oh, there we go.
See how long we can last and stay sober. Did they have to blow a breathalyzer or something like that? I don't know, but that was pretty solid.
I take that challenge, Chuck.
Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
Come on, right? There you go. Tie it back to Bert. I think even Bert and Lonnie hooked up.
Yep. Oh, yeah, they were a thing.
Yeah, they were a thing. And Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so much back then.
Yeah. But these are all the people that influenced us, So
yeah.
It's who we are. It's in our fabric, right? And so there's no way around it.
If it wasn't, you wouldn't still have the lunchbox, Chuck. It's right there. I'm looking at it. That is just so awesome. All of this just takes me back. I mean,
right.
No regrets at all. Good times.
Exactly. So then, off we went, and here we are now. So
yeah,
pretty fun. But
awesome fun. I'm glad we can bring it to you guys. I mean, relish with us in this. This is fun. You guys someday in the future, I hope get to do the same thing.
Yeah, and we're going to take another short break because we got to check on sports and check the game schedule here. It's Sunday, and we got some football stuff we got to get set up. And I'm sure many of you guys are out playing fantasy football too, but we got to check out a few things here on the TV stations, and we'll be right back.
See you soon.
All right, well, we're back, and while I stepped out there on break, I grabbed my Scooby-Doo stapler. How about that, Dwayne? Boom!
Zoinks! That is awesome, man. Another flashback from the past. I love that old stuff.
Yeah, so now I just need the Mystery Machine or the Sasquatch Syndicate machine to go along with it. But
get out there and get a Squatch mobile going, take it to the people, do some interviews, some road tours. I mean, got no conferences or nothing going on right now. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking like a big conversion van, black, or cargo van, but it's going to need to be like a 4x4, so maybe like a Class B all wrapped up with the Syndicate. Carry some mobile studio equipment.
Do a little explorations out in the woods and whatnot.
Yeah, but over here, we're definitely going to need a 4x4, so I'll have to find somebody that can hook that up. But,
yeah, get over these passes and winter's coming.
Yeah, so if there's any manufacturers want to join the cause and hook up the Syndicate, we'll definitely do some stuff with you guys. So keep us,
for sure.
Yeah, contact us. We'll definitely hook that up. But yeah, not a lot of conferences going on, unfortunately.
No, but we got a lot going on. So maybe update everybody on the website, the podcast.
Oh yeah, so the website, we're in version 3. It came out in September. I think it looks fantastic, super aesthetically pleasing. It's just, compared to where it was when we started, it's really cool to see.
It's grown by leaps and bounds. It's pleasing to the eyes. There's a lot of information there. I go there all the time. There's always something new.
Right, and the artwork, if you guys land on the main page there, That was done by an artist named Claudio Bergerman, and phenomenal artist. I wish I had that guy's talent, but we met Claudio a couple years back and talked to him at a couple conferences, and I, just asked Claudio if he could kind of help us depict the vision we had for the Syndicate in a visual graphic. And we didn't give him much to work with. He said, shoot me a couple photos of yourself, in your gear, and kind of give me an idea on the, kind of what you guys are thinking. And so we talked about, we've always been the flesh and blood camp, and then of course open to paranormal and the alien theory, everything in the genre. And, he just took it from there, and, he's got a lot of talent, and took that vision and put it to canvas, and it's masterclass.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal artist. I mean, not just the artist, but his vision too of what you gave him. I mean, I seen what you didn't give him a whole lot to work with, but he definitely captured everything that the Syndicate's about and managed to get it all in one painting there. It kind of says it all.
Yeah, and then on the articles, there's a lot of great stuff. We've got, all the different research topics, theories, blogs, and we've got some amazing research writers that joined the organization last year, and led by Tay Har out of Calgary, Alberta, and Kevin Weberling here in the Pacific Northwest. And they're doing an amazing job. I mean, you've got a lot of different theories and topics, and to research it and kind of bring it to life. They've got a lot of passion behind it, and it really shows.
Yeah, you can tell. I've been out there reading that, and they do some deep dives on it too. I mean, I thought I knew a lot, but they're bringing a lot of information to me that I was unaware of, which kind of made me want to research a little more or come back and see what they're going to write next. I mean, they do a phenomenal job.
Right. And then on the podcast, we're global now. That's so cool, right?
That is reaching around the world.
I mean, here Paul and I we were on the radio, kind of a short AM radio show, and to join, kind of this genre and podcasting about it and all those great things, and to see it just kind of blossom, to always been big in the US and Canada, but to see it go overseas, now streaming on Deezer in France and all over Europe, Great Britain, Sweden, Germany, and we're getting a lot of great feedback, and we've got a lot of great volume of listeners over there, so that's really cool. And then we went live in Asia, so that's pretty awesome. That's on Ghana. It's a musical streaming service out of India and China. And then last night we got launched on Amazon Music, so pretty excited about that. I think that was Audacity, and then they became Amazon Music. So next time you can just say, Alexa, play podcast Sasquatch Syndicate, and it should take off. And sorry, by the way, if I just woke up your devices, but that's pretty exciting for us. Here we are, a little Washington State nonprofit promoting research, and it's cool to see where it's blossomed.
It is exciting. It's grown. I mean, for me, I've been a fan of the podcast for a long time, and it was great to hear a new episode and just looking forward to more, just kind of frothing at the bit for new ones. Great to hear Paul back on it. And
yeah.
And boom. I mean, just love to hear it going all around the world. Everybody gets to enjoy it now.
Yeah, so we were excited to, finish the TV filming, and COVID hit, and, we're back out on the airways. And so that's always fun for Paul and I, too. It's, it's one of our passions. And so, yeah, it's good to get together and knock those out. And we got a lot of great new stuff coming up on the podcast, and of course we got YouTube. So we got this channel, and so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so that's fun. And we got some cool videos coming up on that, and so stay tuned for that. And we're definitely going to jump the shark.
We are going to jump the shark, and possibly a Sasquatch. That's going to be. You're going to see some grown men acting like little boys.
So that should keep us pretty busy, right? Until we get the vaccine and we get through next quarter. And until then, of course, we've got all this going on, but we've also got football.
We do got football. We got something. That's great. Go Hawks.
Yeah, and I think you guys know, but I grew up in Omaha, but I'm part of Broncos Nation. And, we didn't have a lot of sports teams back then. We had the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Broncos. And when I was in grade school, the Cowboys and Broncos played. And my mom, she got me a Chiefs jacket, and I told her she had to send it back and get me a Broncos hat. But, so I've been part of Broncos Nation ever since then. And of course, you grew up here in the Northwest, so.
Yeah, so naturally, I'm a big Hawks fan. Another great thing that come out of the 70s, and I've followed them ever since, and just become a bigger and bigger and bigger fan. And they just seem to be doing better and better. I mean, they kind of used to be a really underrated team, but they've proven themselves now. I mean, now they're winning with the big boys.
And you guys play what, New England tonight?
I believe so,
yeah.
yes.
That'll be a good game. Cam coming to town.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
But those 12s won't be there, so they're going to have to pipe it in, I guess.
We're going to all be there in spirit. Don't worry about that.
So, yeah, that'll be fun. And, of course, we got the holidays, too, right? That's exciting. Probably lift everybody's spirits up, get a little bit of holiday cheer here for the next 12 weeks. So,
and we all need it. We all need a good uplift right now. And it's been rough times. And so, yeah, bring on the holidays. Bring them a little early.
Yeah. I think, well, a lot of people complain all the time and say, well, Christmas is out early or, decorations are out early. But this year, I think it's pretty cool. And we may set up a little bit early here in October and kind of enjoy all that work we put into hanging up all the lights and all the Christmas spirit.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I'm looking forward to the holidays, trying to make myself available to anybody and everybody and just kind of spread some cheer.
Yeah. And then we'll get through Q4. We'll get the vaccine, Emerald City Comic Con. Hopefully that'll take back off and start the circuit again. We'll get back on the road. We got the website. We got the podcast. We got this going. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a blast.
Yeah. So
there's also a lot of virtual stuff going on too. Conferences.
Oh, true. And we did MUFON Houston last week for those that want to check it out. That was a Zoom meeting we did with them. And I guess it's a positive, right? Because here we would have been at Rose City Comic Con that weekend, or coming back and unpacking and doing all the things, and they would have been doing their thing. And here's two nonprofits both promoting their cause, them with UFOs and us with Sasquatch research, right? And getting people inspired and into it and into the genre. And I thought it was cool that we were able to join their chapter group there in Texas and all their different members and explore kind of how they do research, how we do research, how we mine data, how we do the data analysis and test hypothesis and theories before we launch them and all those great things. But it was a cool event.
It was quite enjoyable. It was nice to see the welcomeness, from Bigfoot to UFO and vice versa, to kind of, not want to say marry the two, but see the two come together. And we're all after the same questions. What is it? So it's good to see groups from two different camps kind of after the same goal.
Right. Yeah. It's about the data, right? And getting disclosure, right? So
that's it.
Yeah. So it was really good. And they also invited us out to some properties there. If COVID lifts, we can get down to Texas and do some kind of expeditions and kind of see how they do some of their nighttime research and their different technology and stuff we bring to the cause. And that'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be some great fun. Hit that big thicket.
Yeah, right.
See what's crawling around out there.
So we've got a lot of great things to look forward to, regardless of how depressing this can be at times or how much anxiety builds around COVID. But it's all moving forward for us, and a little bit of a pause, but it's rolling downhill now and full speed ahead.
Yeah, can't wait to jump the shark.
And of course, we've definitely got to jump the shark.
Definitely jumping the shark.
And then we've got the election coming, so that should be interesting, right? I'm going to use that word, but that should be fun.
That's a good choice of
words. We should do election night here, all right? We should do it here, and that would be kind of fun to talk through that and watch that unfold.
Oh, boy.
Talking about Sasquatch versus the election, that might be a little bit more fun. But, that'll be good. I saw a post the other day, too. Somebody said, set your clocks back November 1st, and then somebody else posted, I don't need another hour of 2020.
True that. Boy, who does? They say hindsight's 2020, man. I don't want to look back at this one.
Right. So that's what we got going, and we really appreciate you guys joining us here Sunday night. And go Hawks for Dwayne.
Go Broncos for Chuck.
Yep. And we hope you guys enjoy your weekend and hang in there.
You guys all stay safe and believe.